So this is my second video. Well, this one is definitely simpler. Well, same thing. So we're representing this whole word problem as an equation. More to be precise, more of a two-step equation. So, sorry, I'm so hungry. The main thing is identifying your variable, and one way you can do that is by obviously looking at the question. So in this case, the delivery person uses a service elevator to bring boxes up. So let me draw an elevator, right? And the delivery person weighs 160. So inside the elevator, it's going to go this guy over here. He's 160 pounds. And then he's going to put some boxes. Now, the thing is, he wants to figure out how many boxes can he carry inside this elevator, along with himself, of course. Right? But keeping in mind the capacity of the elevator. So how many boxes of books can he bear? So the boxes, how many, right? That's your unknown. So we're going to use B for the number of boxes that he might be able to put in the elevator. Modeling words, something that we can write here. So it's going to be the weight of the person, right? Plus some boxes. And that all has to equal 1,000 pounds. Not more, not less. Well, as close as possible to 1,000. So the weight of the person is 160. So you can write, it doesn't matter if you write the boxes or the person first. So it's just because I wrote the person. So we 160 pounds, which is the weight of the person. Plus, each box weighs 50 pounds, right? So 50, which is the weight of the box, times however many boxes, 1 box, 2 box, 3 box, right? 50, has to equal. That's your equation. Right, so I can erase this and solve the equation over here. 160 plus 50b equals 1,000. We're going to subtract 160 from each side. Right, so 50b equals 1,000. So I guess the weight of the elevator, the maximum load of the elevator minus the weight of the person gives you 840. So in essence, you actually have 840 pounds to play with. So if you have 50-pound boxes, how many of those can you put in the elevator, right? If the capacity of the elevator is 840, because we have to adjust, right? Have to subtract the weight of the delivery guy. So now just divide both sides by 50. And the number of boxes, and the magical number, and if you do 840 divided by 50, it says 16.8. 16 boxes and 8/10 of the next one. So obviously the answer here is actually 60 boxes. You can't take a partial out. You're not going to cut in the next box into a tenth and get. So full boxes would be 16 boxes. So he can take himself and 16 full boxes. And that's what you're looking for. All right, so that's the idea. And then again, it's repetitive again and again. So you have $16. You have a coupon of $5 discount. A bottle of olive oil costs $7. How many bottle of olive oils can you buy? So that's our variable. Well, the thing I want to know is how many bottles. Right? And I know that each bottle is $7. So here's my. Right? So each bottle is worth 7. Modeling words. So the bottles of olive oil minus 5, right? If you take a minus discount, minus 5 equals 60. So 70, right? 7 times the number of bottles, plus you get minus $5 discount here. All that equals 60. So how many bottles of olive oil can you buy? Well, plus 5, That goes away. We get 21 over here, 7b, and divide both sides by 7. I can buy 3 balls of bottled water. Think about it. Each ball is $7, right? So 3 times 7, 3 bottles, get you 21. Well, you're going to say you only have $16. Well, yeah, that's true, but I had a $5 discount. So if I take the $5 discount, look at that. $16 is sufficient for you to buy 3 bottles. Two college friends rent an apartment. They plan to pay the landlord 2 months' rent and a $500 security deposit when they sign the lease. Okay, so one thing I know. So the total amount they pay the landlord is $2,800. What is the rent for 1 month? Okay, so rent is what I need to know, and we're going to call it R. All right. So as far as rent goes, I know that I paid 2 months' rent. So 2 months rent, and I'm going to skip the multiply. 2 months rent, 2 times R, 2 times the monthly rent, plus the 500 equals the amount of money that they paid the landlord. So that's an equation, right? So they paid the rent for 2 months, so I multiplied that by 2, plus a down payment, right, security deposit, and that total amount came out to 2,800. So minus 500 on both sides. That goes away. 2R equals 2,300. Divide both sides by 2, and the monthly rate is what? 1,150. Sorry. 4, contractors adding a porch to the house, the back porch. The porch needs to hold 20 people, okay? And furniture that weighs 250. So contract calculates the porch needs to hold 3,750 pounds to meet the specification. What value did the contractor use for the weight of the person? So that's mine, right? The weight of each person. P is my variable, which is going to represent the number of people. The number of people here in this particular problem that I'm interested in is 20. P. Okay. Oh, sorry, not people. Ew, take that back. It's weight that I'm interested in. I'm going to use, so W equals weight. Weight of the person. That's what I'm interested in. And then we know that 20 and multiplied by each person's weight is what the contractor is doing. So on the porch, on top of the porch, I'm gonna put the furniture, and the furniture is gonna weigh 250 pounds. The furniture plus 20 people multiplied by their weight, which probably took an average, all that has to equal 3,750. So what weight did the contractor use for each of the person, right? Well, 250. 250 goes away. 20W equals 3,500. Divide by 20. Divide by 20. And the weight that he used to estimate right here, the average weight that he probably used was, let's see, that goes away, 175 pounds. So he thought he used 175 pounds of the average weight of each of the people to calculate how much the porch can hold. That's 5. Okay, so again, 5. Members of car sharing program pay a fee for $50 and then $7.65 for every hour they rent a car. That's not bad. The member's bill was for $149.45. How many hours did the customer use this car? So I've seen this. You know, I've actually signed up for one of these. Because my car was in the garage, in the mechanic shop. So you pay a monthly fee of $50. Then you log in to a website or something, and they say, here is a car that's available for you. And you go there, and for every hour that you use, you pay $7.65. Might sound cheap, but don't forget that I already paid $50. And that $50 I only pay once every single month. So this particular month, I paid $149.45. So That includes the $50 fee, right? So taking the $50 fee away, the rest was the number of hours that I used the car. So how many hours? So H is going to represent the hours. And what do I know about hours here? It's 765 for every hour. So we can already write something down. 765 times the number of hours. So that's part. So the fee, and I'm going to write the model, fee plus the hours, right, used will give me my total bill, 149.45. So how do I write that in the equation? The fee is $50, right? I paid $50 this month plus 7.65 times however many hours I drove the car for. All that gave me a total bill of 149.45. Minus 50 on both sides, right? So I get 7.65 equals 0.45, 99.45. Sorry, I forgot the H here. Divide both sides by 7.65, and let's see how many hours I drove this car for. So 99.45 divided by 7.65 equals, no, 99.45 divided by 7.65 equals 13 hours. So I actually drove the car for 13 hours, which is not that bad. So H is 13. 6, summer fair charges. So you want to go to the fair, you got to pay $7.25 just to get in, and every ride costs you $5.50. 10 friends visits. Visit the fair. Not all the friends purchased the ride passes. If their total was 150, how many friends purchased the ride pass? Okay, so a little trick here. So 10 people went to the fair. Right? Now they all went in, which means they all had to pay $7.25. So 10 times 7.25. So just to get in, right, the 10 people was $72.50. Okay. Now the question said that the problem says that not everybody got this pass here, a ride pass, right? So how many people got a ride pass? So that's what we want to know. So we're going to call R is my variable, and that's going to represent the ride passes. So think about it. The $72.50 that we paid so that all 10 of us can get in, plus $5.50 times however many passes that we bought, right? All that equals the total amount of money that we spent. That's what the equation says, right? So think about that. $72.50 was the amount we spent getting in, and then plus some of us ordered a pass, a ride pass, right? We got to figure out what each pass was $5.50. And that all equaled 105.50. Now, minus 72.5, 72.5. That goes away. 5.50R. We're going to get 323. Divide both sides by 550. And how many passes? I think that's like, all right, 105.5 minus 72.5 equals 33. Sorry, I apologize, 33. And then we're going to divide both sides by 5.5 and 6 passes. So we spent $72.50 on getting in for the admission. And then how many passes? If we had a total of $105.50, how many passes were we able to afford? 6. Right? 6 times 550 is going to be $33. Okay, and so the $72.50 plus 33 equals the amount. All right. All right, repetitive, right? So, but again, it's 7, 8, 9. 3 more. All right, I can do this. A cafeteria, blah blah blah, sells entrees. Entree costs for the main dish, right? The entree is $4.75, and each additional item costs $1.25. So somebody paid $9.75 for one entree, and obviously a few extra things. So how many of the additional items did he get? All right. So variable, how many additional items? So let's call it A for additional. The extras, maybe French fries, broccoli, or whatever it is. So the entree. The entree plus a few sides equals 9.75. So in an equation, right, the equation was 4.75 for the entree plus every side that I ordered costs $1.25, right? So how many sides did I order? So $1.25 times the number of sides. I don't know how many sides, but I do know that the total was $9.75, right? So minus 4.75, minus 4.75. That goes away. We get 1.25. A equals, what is that? Equals 450. Divide both sides by 125. And how many entrees do we get? Sorry, not entrees. Side dishes or side. 3.6. That doesn't seem right. I mean, did my number go wrong here? An entree is $4.75 each dish, so it says 3.6, right? But I don't know if you can order 3.6 of side dishes. Let me just see my numbers right. 4.75 is the entree. Each additional is 125. 9.75 was the total, so 9.75 minus 4.75. Okay. Equals 5. Here's my mistake. So this is actually supposed to be 5. So now 5 divided by 125, and that's what my mistake was. So how many extra side items did he order? 4. Okay. 8. An appliance person charges $55 per trip plus $15 per hour. Just for her to come to your house is $55, and then every hour that she works at your house is $15 per hour. The cost of fixing a stove was $92.50. So out of that $92.50, how many hours did she stay? So we know out of the $92.50, 55 was for her to get to you, and the remaining part of the money, right, that she charged was the number of hours she worked there. So how many hours did she work there? So that's the question. So H is going to be my variable representing hours. And I know that hours is 15 times H. Every hour is $15. So in words was the trip to get there plus the hours was equal to $92.50. Well, the trip itself was $55. Maybe she had to come from New Jersey. I don't know. Plus the hours that she worked, well, 15 per hour equals $92.50. So like I said before, $92.50. So if we subtract 55 from each side, minus 55, minus 55, let's subtract that. We get 15H equals, and what's 92 minus 55? 92.5 minus, 92.5 minus 55 equals 37.5. That's 15H, by the way. All right, so we divide both sides by 15. And H equals 2.5. So that means that from the $92.50 that she charged you to work at your house, right, $55 was for her trip, and then she worked 2.5 hours at your house. So I mean, if you multiply 2.5 times 15, that gives you 37.5. So this is the hours that she worked, and this is the trip just to get to you. Okay. So if you add 37.5 and 55, you actually get 92.50. So she worked at your house for 2 hours. Okay, Shelly has a cell phone, and again, $9.99 per month plus 5 cents per minute that you talk. I remember those days. The total bill for the month was $25.59. So I mean, think about it. If I were to ask you if I were to ask how many minutes she talked for, right, this month, this is what you would probably do. Well, the total bill was $25.59. So I'm gonna take $9.99 away. Okay, so because that's the monthly charge, right? Every month, whether I use the phone or not use the phone, I get charged $9.99. So this is going to be 15.60, right? So this represents the time or the cost, right, for the time I was on the phone. And what are you going to do with 1560? You're actually going to divide 1560 by 0.05, and then you get to find out how many minutes I spoke on the phone for. So that's basically what you're doing. But we want to do it a little bit fancier. So the variable here is minutes, right? So I'm going to M, represents the minutes. And what do I know about the minutes? Is 0.05 cents per minute, right? Modeling words, like I said, my monthly, right, that I have to pay no matter what, plus my minutes, in this case, equal 25.59. All right, so let's set up an equation. So my monthly was $9.99, and then I had to pay 5 cents for the minutes I spoke, and then that gave me a bill of 59.59. 25, I don't know, 25.59. Jeez. Well, let's subtract $9.99 from each side. That's going to give me 1560. That's going to go away. And we're going to get 0.05 M. We're going to divide both sides. Sorry. So that goes away. That comes down 0.5 M. We're going to divide both sides by 0.05. Divide both by 0.05. This becomes 1, right? Because 0.5 divided by 0.5 is 1, or 1M, or just M. And then let's see how many minutes I spoke for. 0.05. 312 minutes. So this particular month, I spoke for 312 minutes. Yikes. All right, and that was the easy one.